Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Superstars, WWE main event, Saturday Morning Slam, and your SmackDown spoilers for this week. And by the time I get the video up, your WWE main event may be already on and playing. But anyways, here's the results, and starting off with some brief news, and of course what happened after Raw, as I promised, from the Raw video. Also, with what happened after Monday Night Raw, momentarily, I'm going to give you some brief news. Sadly to say, there's been another death in wrestling. Sal Corrente, via his Facebook page, stated that it was sad to hear about the passing of Spike, the Mod Squad, a tag team that should have went further. He worked with them many times in Nelson Royals territory. They were a good, solid team, to say the least. Thanks to David E. Isley for sharing the news. According to an interview with Bruno Sammartino, WWE pays inductees $5,000 to enter the WWE Hall of Fame. Inductees are, of course, also given a Hall of Fame ring. Nothing more than that. In a week, a tweet that The Rock sent to Jeff Jarrett after Raw went off the air was deleted from The Rock's timeline. However, the actual tweet still comes up if you search for it. And he's quoted by saying, quote, "At Jeff Jarrett TNA had to tell a few of our USWA stories tonight on hashtag Raw, my friend, from $40 a night to at WWE Champ, hashtag Nashville Dreams," unquote. Rock wrote to Jeff a message that was retweeted 164 times. Quote again, "Congrats on all your success. Hashtag Downtown Bruno," unquote. Jarrett replied, adding the hashtag of Downtown Bruno, who WWE might not know. A lot of fans that don't know that is the Harvey Wippleman character of WWF. The Rock name-checked him during the promo, which closed Raw on Monday. The current WWE champion mentioned the former TNA champion on the broadcast while he was recounting stories from when he started wrestling in Nashville. When he was 25 years old, Jeff Jarrett was fired in TNA storyline at the end of 2011 following a steel cage match against Jeff Hardy. At the Final Resolution pay-per-view, Jeff also see, where was I at? Jeff Jarrett was, okay. Alright, Jarrett also wrote that after Hardy at the against Hardy at the Final Resolution pay-per-view, he wrote, after The Rock mentioned him on Raw, people made sure he knew about it. And the phone was blowing up, Twitter blowing up, at The Rock. Hashtag The Rock says, hashtag $40, unquote. And now, the advertised dark match main event was Cena and Ryback versus CM Punk and Ziggler in a tag match. But that did not happen. They took Punk out of the match to save him for the pay-per-view on Sunday. Punk got physical during his segment with The Rock, but it's possible that he was removed from the main event tag match to give him the rest that he desperately needs, as he dropped his head he was dropped on his head by The Miz doing a brainbuster at Saturday's live event. That being said, it's not uncommon for WWE to change the dark main event. In fact, there are some weeks where the dark match was even scrapped completely. Well, anyways, here's the results. John Cena defeated Dolph Ziggler in the dark match main event after Monday Night Raw went off the air. .NET readers Matt Brink and Ahmed both described it as a good match. There were a lot of near falls and ref bump that allowed Big E Langston to hit the big end on Cena, but Cena still came back with attitude adjustment for the win. Other wrestling news, as I take off my jacket. Okay, Serena Deeb will be in action as she returns to wrestling after her long-awaited return and rehab for her injuries. And she's back with Shimmer 53 event as part of WrestleCon on Saturday, April the 6th, 2013, the day before WrestleMania 29, at the Meadowlands Expo Center in Secaucus, New Jersey, and will also compete at the Shimmer 54 to 57 tapings on Saturday and Sunday, April 13th and 14th at the Eagles Club in Berwyn, Illinois. And those that catch my Shreveport Connection videos up there in that area can join the action from her from the shows there. One of the most beloved athletes in Shimmer history, Serena has had many memorable moments throughout her Shimmer tenure. Serena debuted back in May 2006 at Shimmer 5 and slowly climbed the ranks to eventually achieve main event status. Some of Serena's truly breakout matches were her bouts against first Shimmer champion Sarah Del Rey, and it was Shimmer 22 that Serena pulled off one of the biggest wins of her career, and she hit her signature spear on Del Rey to hand Sarah a rare pinfall loss in Shimmer competition. The victory earned her a shot at the second Shimmer champion, Mischief, in the main event of Shimmer 23. Following a stint in WWE, Serena shocked the Berwyn Eagles Club crowd by making a surprise return at Shimmer 33. She quickly became involved in a heated rivalry with Portia Perez, resulting in several singles and tag team clashes against Portia and her partner Nicole Matthews. The main event of Shimmer 41 featured an epic contest between Serena and the third Shimmer champion, Madison Eagles for the title. Serena went on to settle her score with Perez at Shimmer 43, and after nailing Portia with a spear off of a table. Serena was unfortunately forced into the sidelines during October of 2011 after suffering a concussion. She wisely did not immediately return to active competition to allow her body to fully heal before choosing to step back inside the ring after 18 months absence. Serena will make her highly anticipated return to Shimmer action on April 6th at WrestleCon, less than 8 weeks away. Well, Shimmer 53 will take place on Saturday, April 6, 2013 at the Meadowlands Exposition Center. The address is 355 Plaza Drive in Secaucus, New Jersey. Bell time for this afternoon event is 12 noon. That's a lot earlier than TEW. That's Texas Elite Wrestling. Events at 3 p.m. on Sunday. Tickets are now on sale at www.wwnlive.com/WrestleCon for the Shimmer 53 event. First and second row seating is already sold out. Third row ringside seating is still available. Prices at $40. General admin seating is also available. Price at only $25. The event is suitable for all ages. Thus, it's women wrestling. Shimmer 53 will be one of the several live pro wrestling events over that weekend in Meadowlands Exposition Center as part of WrestleCon. After the Shimmer event, April 6th, there will also be full events promoted by both Shikara and Dragon Gate USA at the same location. Visit www.wrestlecon.com for more information on all the festivities, again, weekend at the Meadowlands Expo Center. And the events from wrestling on this day in history of in 2006. TNA had their Against All Odds pay-per-view, and it was held in Orlando, Florida. America's Most Wanted, Chris Harris and James Storm defeated Chris Sabin and Sonjay Dutt to retain the NWA Tag Team titles. Rhino defeated Abyss in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Samoa Joe defeated AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels in a three-way dance to retain the TNA X-Division title. Christian Cage defeats Jeff Jarrett to win the NWA World title. Well, in 2012, again, TNA Against All Odds again was held in Orlando, Florida. Robbie E defeated Shannon Moore to retain the TNA TV title. Gail Kim defeated Tara to retain the Knockouts title. Samoa Joe and Magnus defeated Matt Morgan and Crimson to win the TNA Tag Team titles. A Double defeated Alex Shelley to retain the TNA X-Division title. Bobby Roode defeated Jeff Hardy, James Storm, and Bully Ray in a Fatal 4-Way match with Sting as special guest referee to retain the TNA World title. Also in 2012, in JPW, the New Beginning was held in Osaka, Japan. That's New Japan Pro Wrestling for those that don't know. If you don't know, you better call somebody. Well, No Remorse Corps, that's Davey Richards and Rocky Romero, defeated Prince Devitt and Ryusuke Takeuchi, I hope I pronounced that name right, to win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. Hiroshi Tenzan and Satoshi Kojima defeated Giant Bernard. That's I think it's Tensai now. And Carl Anderson to retain the IWGP Tag Team titles. Hiroku Goto defeated Masato Tanaka to win the IWGP Intercontinental title. Tetsuya Naito defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. And Kazuchika Okada defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi to win the IWGP Heavyweight title. Well, title changes on yesterday's date. 1966, Joe McCarthy defeated Lorenzo Parente to win the NWA Junior Heavyweight title. 1990, Brian Pillman and the Z-Man defeated Fabulous Freebirds. That's Michael P.S. Hayes and Jimmy Jam Garvin in the final of the tournament to win the vacant NWA United States Tag Team titles. In 2000, Harris Brothers, Ron and Don, defeated the Mamalukes from ECW. Johnny the Bull and Big Vito to win the WCW Tag Team titles. Well, in 2003, Kid Cash defeated Sonny Siaki to win the TNA X-Division title. Birthdays, well, I think I only have one from yesterday's date. Happy birthday to the former WWF and WCW star, still living, One Man Game, a.k.a. Akeem. He turned 53, and former WWE jobber Outback Jack turned 55. Well, now for your Superstars spoilers, I still only had two matches that was reported. Thanks for Tyler England, Ahmed, and Matt Brink. They were at the Raw from Nashville, Tennessee, and passed along the Superstars results. Justin Gabriel defeated Titus O'Neil by 450 splash. And for those that don't know, Justin Gabriel just recently got married. Congratulations to him, and no, it's not another wrestler. Match number 2, WWE Divas Champion Caitlyn defeated Natalya with a spear. Nothing ordinary, that's all she wins with. Saturday Morning Slam spoilers. Damian Sandow defeated Zack Ryder, and Antonio Cesaro defeated Justin Gabriel. So, Justin Gabriel's on every show this week, looks like it. Congratulations again, Justin. And your dark match for the evening was Kofi Kingston defeating Corey Graves, another NXT star. There was a surprising amount of heat on Graves early on. Nice tie-up sequence, followed by a really nice monkey flip. Moments later, Graves hit a gourd buster for a 2 count, and Kofi came back with Trouble in Paradise for the win. All in all, Kofi was super over, and Graves showed great amount of upside. Wait till he makes the main roster and see how he does. And your WWE main event. Now it is a highlight reel time. One random thing is that the announcers' entrance were interesting. JBL got a huge pop for Michael Cole, who got boos and apathy. And yet this was WWE main event. I didn't know JBL was on the main event. I thought it was Stryker and the other guy. The highlight reel opened the show. Chris Jericho started by saying the Miz was injured on Raw in the Antonio Cesaro attack, and that is why Alberto Del Rio is the new highlight reel guest. They replayed the footage of the Cesaro attack. Ricardo Rodriguez came out to take over the introduction for Del Rio. And yes, I named him Railroad Mouth because he at one time he did have braces. Well, whenever I had braces, I had the same nickname. Okay. Well, Del Rio was huge over, especially with the reporter's niece who had never shown an interest before. Jericho brought up his period of wrestling in Mexico and said that he will win the Elimination Chamber and face Del Rio. After a really funny back and forth in Spanish involving Del Rio, Jericho and Rodriguez, Dolph Ziggler's music hits and he interrupts and comes up with a bunch of new names for Big E. Ziggler promised to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase sometime between now and WrestleMania. Del Rio challenged Ziggler to a match on the spot. After a C chant, Ziggler accepted. So we get your first match. Alberto Del Rio with Ricardo Rodriguez. As I should do an impersonation of Ricardo Rodriguez. Alberto Del Rio. Close enough. Yeah, that was all in one breath. Del Rio defeated Dolph Ziggler with Big E Langston. Non-title match. The match started slow, but worked up to a great place, and the fans stayed with it. Late in the match, Del Rio called for the cross-arm breaker. AJ distracted the ref for Big E to hit Del Rio with a punch. Ricardo tried to intimidate Big E and was chased off. Del Rio eventually applied the cross-arm breaker for the submission win in a very long match. It was described as a pay-per-view quality match. And Paul Heyman was interviewed by Matt Striker. Heyman held the WWE title and said that he is indeed the voice of the voiceless. So it is just the same to talk to him as it is to talk to Punk. Heyman rehashed the new stipulation for Rock versus Punk 2. Huge boos for Heyman. And the credit goes to Brad Baldridge, George Clark, Cameron Gullett, and PW.net. And the same goes for SmackDown. There's going to be 2 reports for SmackDown. A little bit different as I've read the second one. Well, first is almost the same. Big Show comes out to open the show. And he cuts a promo and is interrupted by Jericho. Jericho brought up being tag champs with Show. And put him over before reminding him of his own accolades. Booker comes out and sets up a match between the two. Mark Henry then makes his way out. Well, to me, it looks like it's a 3-way dance. Well, Mark Henry defeated Randy Orton by disqualification after Orton grabbed a steel chair and hit Henry in the back with it. Orton was led on. Orton wailed on Henry with the chair until Henry turned it around and left Orton with the world's strongest slam. Second match was Tamina defeating Layla. Third match was a Tensai Brothers Clay defeating 3MB. The Shield came out after the match and beat Tensai and Clay down to big heel heat. Dean Ambrose cut a promo on the Elimination Chamber and said it will be just like tonight for John Cena, Sheamus, and Ryback. The Miz defeated Cody Rhodes with a figure 4 leg lock. Jack Swagger defeated Zack Ryder again with a Patriot Act. WWE Champion The Rock is out next to a big pop. And The Rock cut a promo on CM Punk stealing the WWE title belt and wants it back. Rock promises an ass whooping for Punk. Punk and Paul Heyman appear on the big screen. Punk says Rock stole the title from him at Royal Rumble. They have words and Rock ends it with some of his signature catchphrases. And Damien Sandow comes out and disses Little Rock and The Rock. Rock puts over the fans and ends up giving Sandow the rock bottom and the people's elbow. Big Show defeated Chris Jericho in their match. And the match ended when Jericho went for the walls of Jericho, but he couldn't lock it in, and Show delivered the knockout punch for the win. Now, and that was your main event. Here's the second report of SmackDown. Well, it's the same reporters from earlier, but different. So, let's see how this one goes. Okay, Brad Baldridge, George Clark, and Cameron Gullet. Again, after the SmackDown tapings in Little Rock and passing the notes on the show. Lindley and Garcia received a good ovation. In fact, it was better than the reaction Justin Gabriel received for his entrance during Saturday morning Slam taping. And SmackDown starts off with Big Show coming to the ring. Huge pop for him. He definitely had a scowl due to recent developments. Show asked if the fans thought it was funny. He's been messed with by Alberto Del Rio, and the fans went nuts. And Show says Del Rio never pinned him. He said, and that he doesn't have what it takes to pin him. He also claimed that he will never be pinned by Del Rio. Jericho interrupted. Jericho said he's known Show for 16 years and can read him like a big stinky book. He says he knows how Show feels. Show said he really knew he would stay far away from him. Show said Jericho has other stuff to do, and Jericho promoted Robot Fighting League. As Jericho says he's back and pumped. Apparently that's what he's been will be taping or his Fozzy tour. One of the European or Australian guys said he was coming up for a tour over there on one of the dirt sheets. And Jericho brought up being tag champs with Big Show and put him over before reminding him of his own accolades. And Jericho brought up the idea of the show, and he could wrestle for the title at WrestleMania. And Show said if they both make it to WrestleMania, it will be Jericho's last. Booker came out for a huge ovation and announced Show versus Jericho for later in the show. And then we get Randy Orton and Mark Henry had a backstage segment before the match. There you go. It was a little bit different from the previous one, but it's the same reporters. It's just the people on the dirt sheets, they reword it sometimes. Just a simple stare down. Rock was promoted later. Promoted for later, and the place went insane. So we get the first match. Mark Henry defeating Randy Orton by disqualification. Orton had the advantage early on, leaving Henry on the floor momentarily. No sooner than he re-entered the ring, Henry took control and dominated the bulk of the match and was having his way with Orton. It was time for Orton to come back, and when Henry went down, Orton grabbed a chair and hit Henry with it for the disqualification. Orton hit a few more times, but eventually ate the World's Strongest Slam. To end that segment match. Match number 2, Tamina Snuka defeated Layla. Snuka showed her heel tendencies early on, and Layla played goody two-shoes. There was a roll-up sequence ending in a crossbody. Layla showed some skills there. And there was some really nasty bump on the apron with Snuka getting Layla trapped. Lots of miscommunication there, and Snuka hit a nice Samoan drop and followed up with a splash for the win. So that was that's a little bit more detail in this report. Match number 3, Brodus Clay and Tensai defeated 3MB. First off, huge pop for Brodus. Simply comedy match with big pops for Tensai's dancing. Mahal nearly died when he didn't jump for a Brodus T-bone suplex. A double choke drop followed by a splash put the 3MB away. Following the match, the Shield attacked Brodus and Tensai. Amazing buzz for the Shield. Goosebump status. The fans scrapped on the Shield. Dean Ambrose took the mic and he said he said, "Don't dare think Sunday will be different from tonight." Incredible facial expressions from Ambrose. He then said Cena and company will find out what the consequences for their actions will be on Sunday, and they left through the crowd just as they arrived. Cody Rhodes and his glorious mustache are out next, followed by yet another ad for Fandango. That's how he wants his name pronounced. Fandango. Just call him Boogie Nights. The Miz defeated Cody Rhodes. The Miz came out and had his shoulder taped from the Cesaro beatdown on Raw. Back and forth action to start, including some pretty smart moves by Cody to attack the Miz's hurt shoulder. Miz reversed a disaster kick into a figure 4, but at least he learned how to do it properly for this one. Cody tapped out surprisingly, and nobody popped for the finish because The Miz has not established the move as an actual finisher. Match number 5, the Swagger beat the Zack Ryder. Ryder went after Swagger early, but was dominated by Swagger's wrestling. Simple match with Swagger taking control for the majority of it. Ryder managed to come back, but was swerved during a broski boot, and his leg was slammed into the post, the chop block, and Swagger looks really creepy stalking Ryder. The finish comes with the Patriot Act. That's what he's calling it. Afterwards, Swagger took the mic and introduced Zeb Coulter, who's none other than Dirty Dutch Mantell, saying that he's a great American. Zeb talked about making your mark as a patriot and his Tea Party-like spiel about how Zack Ryder is not a real American due to his love of tanning and hair products. Good heat on that promo. The Rock headed to the ring to an easy pop of the night with surely no rivals. Rock immediately went into CM Punk, stealing the belt. Rock said it is a trade between his belt and an ass-whipping Punk will never forget. Well, CM Punk and Paul Heyman interrupted on the big screen to let Rock know that he didn't steal anything and that it is The Rock who committed the grand larceny at the Royal Rumble. Punk played up his stipulation by saying that he plans on letting Rock beat himself on Sunday. Rock said his words are worthless. He said Monday it was Punk should worry about. He said Monday it was Punk should worry about because there he realized he failed. Rock called Punk a spoiled little boy about 8 times and delivered the, if you smell what the Rock is cooking, and deliberately and without any hype to close out their segment. Well, just as that was happening, Sandow interrupts The Rock. He said he finds it ironic that SmackDown is in Little Rock because he'll show everyone how little Rock has done since being WWE Champion. Huge shoot of Sandow there with the crowd. Rock went into the stick about being in Little Rock, and the people popped again. Sandow said they are sheep. Rock said that he has one thing to say and goes into it. Finally, The Rock has come back to Little Rock. Rock played to the crowd, and he says he'd give Sandow a gift. He asked the crowd what move he should do to Sandow. Everyone said rock bottom. And Rock shook Sandow's hand into a rock bottom and people's elbow for the big surprise, a big response. And match number 6, Big Show defeated Chris Jericho. Show dominated early on. Jericho got some momentum, only to be speared for his trouble for a 2 count. Big Show chokeslammed Jericho, who rolled out of the ring to avoid being pinned. Show climbed to the middle rope. And missed an elbow drop, by the way. Brad, who reported, would like everyone to know that the drunk guy behind him was effing annoying. Anyway, Jericho went for the walls of Jericho, but he couldn't lock it in. Show delivered the knockout punch and got the win. Del Rio walked onto the ramp and had a stare down with Show, which is probably where the TV show will end for this week. That part was not mentioned in the prior report. That's why I do 2. If I can find 2 reports that are different, possibly 3, I'll give you the news. And now, what happened after SmackDown went off the air or stopped taping for Tuesday? Del Rio made his entrance. Big Show berated JBL and Josh Matthews for leaving the announce table. Big Show continued to cut a promo running down Little Rock and Del Rio, and Alberto kicked him in the junk and took a chair from Ricardo and proceeded to beat Big Show repeatedly before the ref actually even rang the bell. Well, after that, Alberto Del Rio defeated Big Show to retain the World Championship. And Big Show no-sold the chair shots once the match started and scoop slammed Del Rio. The match was fairly short and ended with Big Show tapping out to send everyone home happy. Thanks for viewing. Peace out.